Hey guys, welcome to Ryno Motorsports. Today we're going to introduce you to our 2012 Turbo Sportster that we built, go over all the details, what it took in the build, and we'll take it for a ride. This 2012 Sportster 48, we actually bought it wrecked. Gas tank was junk, handlebars were junk, kind of went through it, got it set up the way we wanted to with just the intake and the exhaust, and was at a point where we were either going to sell it or do something crazy. So, you know, typical style, we wanted to do something crazy. Started with the exhaust. The exhaust is all wedge cut. Once we had the exhaust built, we found the down tube that we just cut, so cut your shins all up. The turbo is a knockoff Garrett GT22. It's a $150 turbo off of eBay. It ain't nothing fancy. Wastegate setup at 8 PSI. Blow-off valve on the backside. The clear intake plenum, that was fun to make. That's all done on a lathe. And then milled the merge collector. We welded an 18mm O2 sensor bung into the bottom of it. So we got a wideband O2 sensor signal for both cylinders. It's oil pressure fed. So oil pressure comes in the top, drains back out the bottom. So the way that Harleys vent is they vent through the head, right? So the breather system allows any built-up pressure or any venting to happen through these bolts back into the air cleaner, and then it sucks it back into the engine. EPA likes it. I don't. You can't hook the breather bolts to the intake because you can't pressurize it. It'll pressurize the bottom end. So you got to vent that externally. So this turbo setup is tuned on a Power Commander 5 with an analog reading from a 3-bar map sensor. A little bit unconventional on the way it's normally done. So typically, a boosted application, everybody runs a ThunderMax, right? A ThunderMax ECU is the only ECU or the only tuner that can accept positive manifold pressure, right? So the stock map sensor reads vacuum. The ThunderMax allows you to tie in a 3-bar map sensor, which reads vacuum and boost through an analog signal, right? So now the Power Commander 5 is getting a 0 to 5 volt signal, and instead of it looking at RPM and throttle position, we're looking at RPM and map sensor. So RPM and vacuum and boost. One little touch, we got licks, 10-inch Z-bars, speedo relocated, that's chopped. Joker machine. Yeah, Joker machine gauge relocation. Easy bolt-on burly backrest, LED lights all the way through. Early model Harley Touring air shocks, right? Just run them real low on PSI. The Sportsters always ride really hard, so that actually softens it up a little bit. Custom Cycle Dynamics front turn signals with the white halo rings, kind of act as fog lights. LED headlight. So this tank actually was dented. There was a dent right here in the tank. We had that filled when we drilled the holes for the bungs, for the fitting, for the fuel gauge. Had it painted. This is Vince Balestrini out of Orlando. Did the custom pinstriping and then cleared over it. Alright guys, so that's pretty much everything on the Sportster. I appreciate you guys watching. We got a couple other big things coming up here soon we're going to be putting out. We'll see you on the next one.